let's have a checkout of Quip as a intranet tool. So it's found at quip.com, so quip.com. It is free to trial it out, so you can jump in and have a look. Probably the most similar product that I've seen to using Quip for your intranet is using Dropbox Paper. So let's go through some of the functionalities that are available within Quip, but what we're going to do first is just have a look at some of those core functionality of an intranet that you need and whether it's included in Quip or not. So people directory and document library and template library, they're all included. You can put a link library in there as well. You could put in things like meeting notes. You could keep track of maintenance records. In terms of the CRM, similar Dropbox Paper, very limited, so you'd almost have to have it as a spreadsheet within here. So it doesn't have any of that extra functionality that you might want for keeping up to date with clients and contractors. It does have a little bit better calendar functionality, but it's still not a fully fledged company calendar that you could use across the company to keep track of what's going on in events and different departments. For standard operating procedures, it does work because you can set those up within the documents within Quip. Form requests, it doesn't have that. So if you're looking at having some of those inter-office forms set up through Quip, you're going to actually find that that's lacking, and you're going to need to use some form software or use a different intranet builder to be able to do that. In terms of messaging, it is a step up from Google Docs and Dropbox Paper in that it does have two different ways to do some messaging within here that are unique to it. You can still write comments related to a specific document, but what we're going to have a look at is some of the extra functionality, like this little one over here, chat, sending a message to someone in the company. You can do it through here, and I'll show you some other spots where we can do it as well. So we've got updates up the top here. We've got folders. So similar to a lot of those other kind of file sharing platforms, you kind of go down into folders and subfolders. But from this view here, you can see here that we have the folder that we're in has a document. It also has two different chat rooms. So if I come right up the top right hand corner, you can see here that I can add a new document, a new spreadsheet, I can add a new slide, a new folder within this folder, and I can also add in a new chat room. So let's just jump into one of the chat rooms because that's a pretty interesting feature within here. So I can just right down the bottom here, just type hello. So it's just a bit of a stream of conversation that you would have within your team. So it's just a really interesting take on being able to have that kind of straight up stream, whereas usually if you're actually going to be making comments, I'll show you. If we jumped into Quip here, I could actually click over here and then make comments on a particular section within the document. So you can still do that kind of chat and have those notifications popping up over here. And for different members of your team, if you're mentioning them, then that's going to pop up in their notification. So you can still do it on a per document level, but it does have that extra little functionality of having your own chat room as well. So that's quite handy. Most of the other things you're going to find are pretty similar to, say, Google Docs or Dropbox Paper. They've got the tasks functionality as well, so you can see this task was assigned to me, completed by tomorrow. That's showing up here. Click that. That takes that off. It's got a little running audit of what's going on down the side. One extra functionality that can be useful is being able to have Kanban, board view, the calendar, tracking projects. A lot of these are just kind of like add-in features on top of what's essentially like a Word doc. So you can add these kind of things in on top. So there's nothing that's really powerful about it, but if you're looking for something that's just that step up from sharing documents and you want to be able to kind of dynamically save documents, and if you're working on, say, standard operating procedures or things like meeting notes and creating action items out of there, then you're going to find it really useful. And the messaging functionality could be useful in cutting down a little bit of your email communication, but it's not going to replace something like Slack or in some of the intranet systems we're going to be looking at where it does have a really robust inbuilt chat and the ability to kind of do like a company blog and it just flows a bit more like a website than just editing documents. So hope you found this useful. Look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial.